Welcome, foolish mortals.
For the last time, man, we need more cowbell. Hey guys, the Lord here, back in with day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween. And today, as promised, we're taking a look at the Spin Master, had a brain fart there, Bakugan Reaper action figure. Now, I think this line had a specific name, but that'll be in the title because, again, I just had a brain fart. Give me a break. This figure is huge. I mean, just to give you a gist, he's next to old Fear Fang, and yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. And another Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff. I mean, we started with Duel Masters, now we're going into Bakugan. This is the only Bakugan figure I got for this, by the way, but the only Bakugan figure I have at the moment. Probably going to pick up more. They're not too expensive. They're about $10-15 new in box, but they are pretty big. They take up a lot of space, so I don't know. But, for being a Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff, it was a fairly successful Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff. So what the heck do I know? I'm just a dead man sitting here reviewing toys for the Halloween season. But if you don't know the premise of Bakugan, it's basically these little balls you roll onto magnetic cards and they'd flip out, and you'd get characters like this guy, or dragon, or a white tiger with armor, or a giant golem knight, or fish dude, or a dragon with multiple heads. There's a lot of different characters in this series, and unfortunately they only made action figures of a select few of them. But my favorite, this guy, you guessed it, they decided to make in the first wave, and he is pretty freaking spiffy. So, with that being said, let's take a closer look at him. He didn't come with like the Bakugan, like the little ball version of himself, or a card or anything. He just came by himself. But he's got this giant sickle, scythe, whatever you want to call it. It looks like it's made out of a horn. Some poor sucker. I mean, that's pretty metal. And then it's got like a tooth on the bottom. Its handle's all crooked and stuff. I mean, this is one of the coolest scythe sculpts I think I've seen. So, yeah, do a lot of damage with that. I feel like I had a Reaper card at one point, but I couldn't tell you because, like a lot of my trading card stuff, I got rid of a lot of my Bakugan stuff. And one of the main issues I have with this figure is he's kind of a pain in the butt to stand because he's got very floppy hips. I'm not sure if I could fix that with a rubber band, maybe? Might try that out. But a rubber band, or maybe even some Elmer's glue, because these are very, very loose and floppy. That's about my only gripe. I mean, look, it's not even holding the pose. So this figure definitely would have benefited from some ratchets in the hips, because he's got a lot of upper body weight. He's not a particularly heavy figure, but compared to the weight in his legs and the way that they posed his legs, he's going to need some support, whether he's leaning up against something or, just kind of on a stand of some kind. Because really, this is what he should be posed in, but he's not going to be able to do that with the floppy hips he's got. Of course, he does it, little fucker. But articulation on this guy, he's got a rotation in the neck as well as a hinge. You can tell it's in the neck because it's at the base, not the top of the head by the skull. Which he's got kind of a goat skull face going on. You can see the kind of slit where the nose would be, and then the teeth on the side, then his eyes. And then he's got these long, almost kind of Beetlejuice inspired horns with the kind of stripe pattern going throughout him. It's pretty cool. Then he's got a hinge in the shoulder. They move forward and back. And the hinges in the shoulders are actually pretty... If that's how tight the hips were, this figure would have no problem standing, but the hips are just too buttery smooth. And the swivel in the hip is fairly loose, too. But, he's also got a wrist rotation, but his hips, they can hinge in and out and swivel, but again, they are kind of wide jointed too, so that don't help either. And then he's got a swivel at the knee, and he's got his little elf shoes, his little pointy shoes. On the back, you can see he's got these wings, and they just tab in. They're not anything crazy. It's just got kind of a keyed peg hole, and then all you do is put the wing in. And there you go. That's it. The wing is in the figure. It ain't coming out either. It's pretty secure. So, yeah. Other than his loose legs, this figure's pretty cool. You just gotta kind of use this to help balance him. So, give me a second here. I'll get this back into his hands. A certain way of doing this that works pretty well. Tend to put that in there, and that in there, and there you go. Another thing I think this guy would have benefited from was a little bit more paint. I feel like he was more detailed in the show. Yeah, anime that was on Cartoon Network at the time, but I could be wrong. Could be 100% accurate, and I'm just full of crap, but I have to give an honest review here. Save you some money, although this thing, again, isn't that expensive. He's fairly cheap and affordable. So, there you go. But here he is next to Mythic Legion's Hagnon, to give you just a scale. And yeah, you can see he's bigger than he is. So he's in scale with Mythic Legions. He's just not detailed enough to kind of hang with Mythic Legions, I don't think. But yeah, he's definitely he's worth checking out. I don't know if I just got lucky and I got a loose one or what, but his hips definitely need to be a little tighter. I mean, you can see now he's just kind of wanting to fall down and go boom. So that's no bueno. That's why his hip is not positioned how I had it before. Maybe now it'll stand up a little better. It's hard because his legs are so spread out. I wish he was just standing upright. There we go. That's a little better. But yeah. Yeah, he's a little tricky to stand, but once you get him to stand, he does look pretty cool. And you'll see that in the URL and the little end clip at the end of this video. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween, and that is it for Yu-Gi-Oh! Ripoffs for this year. Stay tuned though, because up next we're going to be revisiting the Universal Monsters, but a bit of a 90s twist. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I will catch you guys later. Woo!
Be sure to bring your death certificate if you decide to join us.